Hey there, this is Tina with Content Creators Club. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. But before we get started, make sure you grab the freebie or the link in below, either below this email or below in the video itself. So let's go ahead and get started with today. And we're going to be talking about profiting as a creator. And so there's a couple things that I want you to know. The one thing that I want you to know is that making money is easy. Like, I truthfully have seen people sell air. Like, making money is not a problem. But there is a different story when it comes to making profit. Just because a person's making $10,000 a month doesn't mean that they're profitable. And profitable is what pays bills, right? And so, I'm going to give you an example of two different real life stories that happened with me, right? So, before I transitioned to content creation, I actually did business coaching. I made a lot of money with it. And so that was years ago. And I remember one time having a $17,000 cash month, and it felt really good to finally have that, right? But on the outside, it looked great, but on the inside, like, I spent it as fast as it came. And maybe this is a little bit of mindset things and shit that I had to deal with back then. But, I wasn't used to having that much money. And so what I ended up doing was, because I was uncomfortable with the amount of money that I had, is I ended up hiring labor. I bought fancy software that I didn't need, and I paid for more coaching that honestly I don't think was necessary. And at that point, there was no money left over for me to pay myself because I invested everything back in my business. And I do believe it's important to invest back into your business, but also investing back into your business means also investing back into you, right? So what that means is paying yourself should be a priority, and it is a form of investing back into the business, right? And so I wish I had done that, because 2 months later I actually got so burnt out in that coaching business that I actually decided to stop accepting clients, and it then ended up being a terrible situation that I was in, right? And so that $17,000 that I had as a cash month ended up turning to zero because I invested everything back into the business and I didn't pay myself. And when you stop accepting clients, then the money stops happening, right? And it just was a shitty, terrible experience. And that's one of the reasons why I decided, if I'm going to come back into business, which I have, as you can see here, like, things need to be different, right? And so I don't rely on I don't rely on client cash injections. I'm a very big believer in daily passive income because that's more important to me, right? And so one of the things that I've also implemented is building an automated content business that is 80% ran by automations and AI. 15% of it is outsourced by one virtual assistant. I did come from the background of having a big team. I don't really like having a big team. And so the last thing is 5% of my time is actually involved in the business. And part of that time is creating content such as this videos, right? But everything outside of this, I don't really spend a ton of time on, right? And so it's a very different situation that I'm in, because I actually pay myself a monthly salary. I have 100% ownership of my time. I don't like having a busy and booked out calendar. But more importantly, it's generating daily sales instead of relying on client cash injections, right? And so I'm speaking to all you service providers, maybe agency owners, who always feel like you need to sign your next client. Like, it's great because you have tons of cash when you sign those big ticket clients, but it also sucks because you're always wondering when's your next client, right? And so, the sad truth is that most people care about sharing how much money they make versus how much profit they create. And so if you are trying to figure out how to profit as a creator, the one thing that I would figure out for you is, what is the bare minimum essentials that you need to run the business, right? Because at the end of the day, like, you can buy tons of software, you can hire labor, and you can do all those things. But if you have expenses exceed what you actually pull in, then it doesn't matter how much money you make. Nobody likes having a $10,000 cash month and then an $11,000 expense bill. Like, that, at that point, you're losing money, right? And so profiting as a creator means controlling your expenses so that you're actually only using the bare minimum so that you can get the most return on your expenses. And profiting as a creator means that you're finally fucking paying yourself. Like, I do think it's important to invest back into the business, but invest in yourself. That is the best investment that you could choose to do, right? Now, if you're trying to figure out how to, get the best return on your time and be able to grow your audience and your income without spending a ton of time on social media, which is my main forte, then I'm definitely going to recommend you check out our Audience Profits course, because it's going to teach you how to leverage collaborations to grow your audience and profit from your growth with our signature network revenue streams. So thank you so much for watching this video. Feel free to like and comment and subscribe. It really helps the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.